How many of us out there has ever been in the darkness? A dark place in your lives where you're coping with a tragedy, or you're in the midst of a financial setback in which your money has dried up but your bills didn't get the memo, or you're out there always asking why, in search of self and never really finding the answers. Can anyone out there relate? So here's the thing. While you're out there dwelling in that dark place, you're actually in transition. You're being prepared. You're in the oven, because after the darkness comes what? Comes what? You guessed it, the light. So what you're really doing is you are growing in the dark. Because first you grow in the dark, and then you start to glow in the dark, and then you awaken into the light. You see, you can't go through what you're going through and emerge the exact same person. You can't beat cancer and think you're gonna have that same outlook on life. You can't survive an unhealthy relationship and not erect yourself as a better boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife. Your darkness is just a transition. So learn to appreciate the darkness. Keep your head up, get back to work. Be needed, be necessary. I'm out. You are necessary. A necessity, because what you have, your gifts, your skill set, they're unique to you and cannot be found in any other place or any other person that does not share your bloodline. That is your brand of business. So once you're able to wrap your head around that and really digest and understand the fact that what you have cannot be replicated, duplicated, only slightly imitated, oh my goodness, what you will unlock and untap. They may be able to replace the title, but not the person. They may be able to replace the position, but not your production. So the next time you sit down to negotiate, don't allow your value to be disrespected or shortchanged by accepting terms and conditions that were meant for someone who's merely optional. You are necessary, whether it be in business, personal, or relational. Know your worth. Let them know you're expensive, but affordable. Man G's leaving the building. Why do you constantly get in the ring with the enemy? The enemy who can also be known as the devil. You can't sleep with the enemy on Monday and then denounce him on Tuesday. You can't go out and have a drink with the enemy on Wednesday and then wake up to proclaim sobriety on Thursday. You just can't do it. It's not that easy when you're in battle, when you're fighting the enemy. You see, the enemy is the fighter that knows your weaknesses. So if you struggle with monogamy, he's gonna throw a jab at your marriage. If you have a spending problem, he's gonna uppercut your finances. If you're easily lured by temptations, he's gonna throw a left cross at your face. And guess what? If gambling is your problem, well, he's gonna welcome you to Vegas. You see, that's what the enemy does. That's what he's good at, and that's what he's known for. Many of us have had our jaws broken by the enemy. So if you're not prepared to fight, don't get in the damn ring. I want to talk to you about what stifles you. Not what you win at, but what you lose at. Not what you manage well, but what you don't. Not your strengths, but your opportunities. You've read every book, you've listened to every podcast, you've been to every seminar to try and find the answers to what you're going through. If you would only realize, understand, and believe that the answer for which you are searching cannot be found in the book. It cannot be found in the podcast. It may not be revealed at the seminar. The answers can only be found from within. You know what to do, you just don't have the courage to do it. And if you don't believe that, then riddle me this. Why is it that you're so good at giving advice to everyone else? You come up with the solutions in a meeting at work. You know why your sister's relationship is not panning out the way it should. But when it comes to you and your life, it's in shambles because you won't summon the courage to listen to you. Listen to you. You have the answers. Be needed. Be necessary. My precious, wounded, undervalued, underappreciated women out there, listen to me. You are enough. You're enough. You are enough. You're woman enough. Your mother enough. Your daughter enough. Your girlfriend enough. Your wife enough. You're enough. And I get it. I know there are moments where you don't feel as much because your small requests for reciprocity are at times non-existent. And I know there are times where you question yourself. I know there are times where you peek over to compare. And I know there are times when your thirst for simple validation goes unquenched. But trust and believe my confirmation when I say you are enough. Who else can kiss it and make it better? Who else has the touch to produce a quiver? Who else has the capacity to take on the amounts that you do? My princess, my queen, you are enough. You are needed and you are necessary. God bless you. Be strong. Hey, listen, if you want to be the best who's ever done it, not the one that they remember, but the one that they just can't forget, you gotta do the work. You gotta have a paralyzed focus. Remember why you set the alarm every morning. Remember the goal. Remember what's at stake. You gotta be willing to turn your back on comfort. You gotta be willing to unfriend thoughts of it's too cold, it's too hot, I'm too tired, I'll start tomorrow. You have got to keep your commitment to your commitment. Embrace your determination and your relentlessness, and be willing to snatch the wheel and drive. More gas, less brake. Make success your drug and your complete addiction. Know that in order to defeat them, you gotta outwork them, you gotta outread them, you gotta out-hustle them, you gotta out-prepare them, you gotta out-want them. And at the very end of the day, my friend, you will win or you will learn, but you will never lose. Be needed, be necessary.